Hi everyone, I want to talk about the Raker Barbarian again and how it has actually turned out to be the best build in Season 26. So this came a little bit as a surprise both to me and probably a lot of other people, and if you have been paying attention to like the worldwide rankings of the different classes, Raker actually holds the top clears both in non-season and in Season 26 right now. So there's already a GR 150 clear of this as the first class of the season. So my initial prediction for this was that we're gonna see the first ones around a month in the season at around 6k paragons or so. And the projected best build would be LOD Wave of Light. After the inner nerf from Season 25 to Season 26, basically gutting the fire inner build, this was the next in line. But also Inna remains very powerful with the Water and Earth ally, especially Earth ally, which is not really that popular yet, but I guess once people actually, start playing that and do it properly, it will also pull ahead and be pretty close to that. But it is definitely quite curious. I've been playing the Raker Barbarian myself quite a lot. Here, this is my GR 141 hardcore clear I've done, which was rank 1 at that time. And I think there's like two other clears that are slightly higher, like 142 and 143 now. And it is also, just like pulling ahead even more on softcore. So I found this quite curious. These are the current clears here. This is Season 26 softcore. And we can see there's the 150 for the Barbarians. This is quite high Paragon actually. And it seems like you can do this as early as like 3.5k paragons already, as you can see from this Korean guy here. And I briefly inspected this guy some days ago. He was already like pushing up from like 140 all the way to 145. He already had like the number 1 spot there for a while. And I think this guy is even solo self-found. So he has been unlocking tier after tier consistently. Quite impressive result. And turns out that Raker just has some insane RNG potential, I guess. And on top of that, this insane skill ceiling, unlike almost any other build, because of this low life mechanic. So you're always trying to stay at as low life as possible and always try to be on the brink of death, which is also the reason why we don't see this insane clears on hardcore yet. But also because Barb in general is not really the most played and most competitive class, despite getting a really big update like the Raker Barb this season. But I imagine that especially now that people have seen the potential and seen that this is actually the best build, there might be more competition coming up for the rest of the season from like the high Paragon blasters that will just go in with like, 7, 8, 9,000 or something like that, craft some insane gear and go ham. So I'm quite excited to see how the top clears will perform in the end. If you look at the other classes here, Crusader this season is basically not played at all, so this can definitely go way higher, but it is definitely behind. Demon Hunter as well, I would say before 6-7k it's gonna be really rough to do 150. On the Monk we have some good clears here, both on Inner and LD with Light. And Necromancers can also go quite high, but also won't really happen before 6k, I would say. Same with Witch Doctors, there's Zuni, there's Eric here, both of these are really strong builds, but again, very unpopular class. And Wizards are just like way behind. And I guess the only build that really has a good chance of doing 150 for the Wizard this season is going to be Reverse Archon Shimizu LOD Twister. And that is also some very high-end build that also requires insane amount of gear and fishing and everything. So we'll see if that even happens in the end. But the Barbarians are insanely powerful. We can also check out the non-season here, where there's a 5 minutes 20 second clear at Paragon 20k. So this is actually not really that far ahead on non-season. There are some other like really fast clears on other classes. If you look at Demon Hunter, for example, Crusader, lagging behind a bit, but also lower Paragons. And I guess the other classes will just like slowly catch up here. So the difference is not that large, because at some point we don't really gain that much anymore in terms of like Paragon scaling compared to other builds. Raker is something that really profits a lot from having higher Paragons because of this low life mechanic. You want to become more tanky so they can actually stay at low life more comfortably. And this is something that, for example, at my 2.5k Paragons on hardcore, is quite difficult to micromanage because he just takes so much damage. But when you add another, 1000, 2000, 4000 paragons, suddenly you become a tank and you can constantly stay at low life very easily with very little life recovery, and you're gonna be doing even more damage with the Raker 4-piece bonus. So in general, I found it quite curious how this has turned out, especially considering that during the PTR, the clears weren't really that crazy, but we also only had like a few days of trying it and kind of like gauging the potential. If I recall correctly, it was actually kind of like a close call, and we were discussing putting it in S tier, but then we decided to kind of like have it like top of A tier, so to say. So it was kind of close, but I guess especially for next season, we're definitely going to move it up there. And the good thing is also that it's not really so obscenely strong just playing it regularly. So something like Inner Monk definitely needs another nerf because the water ally is just like way too good. They only nerfed fire, which was a huge mistake in my opinion. And we have seen it this season. Everyone and their dog is playing Inner Water Monk for farming XP. You simply get double the amount of XP compared to any other class. Compared to something kind of bad like Wizard, even triple or so. So obviously Inner Monk has to be tuned down. People are like easy peasy farming 110s, 115s in like 90 seconds or something like that. It is ridiculous, and this is something you can't replicate with any other class. So you go extremely fast and extremely high, and obviously that needs to change a bit. For example, with the Raker Barb, it is a very good pushing build, but it is not really so obscene in farming. I've been farming a lot with this, and I felt I had like a really good setup, and I was still like half a minute slower and like 7 tiers behind Inner Monks, for example. So Barb is definitely one of the better classes right now. It's probably number 3 after Monk and Crusader, but even that is so far behind Inner Monks that I don't really see a nerf coming for Barb, but definitely for Inner. In any case, I found this was worth highlighting and talking about a bit. I got quite a lot of questions about, the Raker Barbarian's power, and also people wondering why we actually have it in A tier initially and these kind of things. So I hope this clears up a few things. It's definitely turned out to be a very cool build in my opinion. I really like the rework, and I'm quite excited to see what Blizzard has coming up next in Season 27, what kind of cool rework they will do. In general, I'm very pleased with the new stats they've introduced starting in Season 19, and then the 1 or 2 stat reworks every season they have been doing. And I hope this continues for another few seasons until everything is in kind of a good spot. If you want to learn more about the Raker Barb, then go check out the guide. I have like a full build guide on this and also some speed farming variant on this as well. And we also have the written max roll guide that you can go check out if you like. So can I just recommend this build? If you haven't tried it yet, it is very fun. And I'm also very glad to see how the Barbarians have actually gotten a really cool, relevant build that is not from 2019 anymore. And they're actually like kind of like top of the line again. So this is my takeaway from this season's Raker Barbarian. If you haven't already, I guess go try it out, or maybe next season. Hope you enjoyed this little video, and see you guys next time.